Worry then about being caught short in public. It's important to know, frankly, where the nearest loo is for everybody, isn't it? But what if you have profound disabilities or need help from a carer or have to use aids for mobility problems? Virtually impossible to find a comfortable, well-equipped and, here's a key, spacious public loo to do what you need to do. As we heard then earlier, such facilities do exist. They're called changing places toilets, but there is only one in the whole of Gloucestershire. It's at the Coffee Shop in Bathurst Park in Lydney, and it's only there because of the pioneering efforts of owner Claire Harris.
To your right there, we've got the drop-down bed and a hoist. So the hoist is there to lift up a child or an adult from a wheelchair that is wheelchair bound. It lifts them securely and safely, either to put them onto the change bed, which folds down and is also adjustable. I was in catering for a very long time, managing hotels, then went into teaching, and I taught adults with learning disabilities to cook. And it kind of opened my heart really to the needs of these individuals and the fact that they get so much enjoyment out of being out and about, but they're unable to do that without this facility. So when I took on the coffee shop, it was I realised the space was big enough. It was one of the things that I tried really hard to get for the county.
Well, great facilities if you live in Lydney and the Forest of Dean, of course, and that's great news for people like Merrill who didn't know about it until now. But what about the rest of the county? That is the only one we've got. It was Wendy Payne from Astor Bannerman in Cheltenham who emailed me to highlight the distinct shortage of conveniences for people with a specific needs. Manpreet Melly is with Wendy this morning at a more standard facility.
Yeah, good morning, Anna. Right by the bandstand at Gloucester Park is where we are this morning. Beautiful sunshine. There's young families here, dog walkers, even the park warden has popped by to say hello. And Wendy Payne, as you say, from Astor Bannerman, manufacturers of disability equipment, is here with me. We were hoping as well to speak to a family that is likely to use that kind of facility that you've been talking about today. And unfortunately, just the nature of their lifestyles really, and of caring and having to go to urgent hospital appointments, we haven't managed to get the family that we were hoping to speak to today. But Wendy is here with me, and you felt compelled, didn't you, to get in touch when Anna was talking about disabled loos in general. So tell me, what is so different about changing places?
Okay, well, changing places are much larger than a standard accessible disabled toilet. They're 12 square metres, and they have space for 2 carers, and they have an overhead hoist to lift the person out of their wheelchair and onto the toilet, and also a changing bench as well, which is adult sized and height adjustable, so that continence pads, etc., can be changed.
So it sounds like then that not only are they a bigger space in which to be able to go in, but and with better equipment, but it sounds like it's a bit more like a medical facility, really.
I wouldn't say it's totally medical, but it's a space that gives a little bit of respite for the carers or the mums and dads as well, who are with their children, and often adult children as well. So it's a little bit of a space where they can lie down, have a little bit of relax, sit down in a chair, take a breather for 5-10 minutes, and then carry on with their shopping or their coffee.
Now, we've been here for a few minutes already, haven't we, this morning? We've had a bit of a natter, and people have come up to us. It's such a lovely day, so this park's, had quite a few people walking through already. They've all come up to us. What are you talking about this morning? And you've been talking to them, and they've all said, oh, but there's loads of disabled toilets. So clearly people aren't aware then that, as well as having normal toilets, slightly larger spaces, which are normally the disabled toilets, but actually there is this third type of toilet, and people were looking at us strangely, weren't they, and saying, well, no, there are lots of disabled toilets.
Yeah, it's really the next step up from a disabled toilet, because lots of people can't use them, as I say, and they don't have the mobility themselves to get themselves out of the wheelchair. So what are you going to do if you can't get out of the wheelchair? And actually we were talking to somebody here, and he said, oh yeah, we've got a disabled toilet here, yeah, we've got one of those, but it doesn't have the hoist, it doesn't have the changing plates, the changing table, and it was completely locked up anyway and out of action.
Now, just by talking about this today, somebody's contacted the programme to say that they're going to probably visit the one in Lydney that we featured, the only one in the whole of Gloucestershire. So hopefully there's a visit there. They'll be able to go out and maybe have coffee in town, and then they know that they've got the safety really of being able to go somewhere if they need to. It surprises me though that we have one in Gloucestershire, when if you look at some of the numbers of where there are more, one particular place has 14. Why is there such a difference? Why do we only have one when somewhere else has managed to get 14? And I think that's Nottingham, isn't it?
Yeah, Nottingham, the city alone has got 14, and we've got one in the whole of our county. I mean, the campaign started off by a gentleman, Martin Jackman, who worked for Nottingham City Council. So he started the campaign and he really got the ball rolling. So Nottingham have taken it with both hands. They've seen the benefit. They've seen the income that's come in as a result of having these changing places in their city, in some huge venues as well, important venues. So as they see the benefit of them, they introduce another one, and it rolls and rolls and rolls, and it's great for the city. So it really would be great for Gloucester or Gloucestershire just to have a few more than just the one, really, especially with tourism wanting to come in.
Now, it would have been really nice to hear from the family that were going to be here today, and that was somebody called Steve was going to come, wasn't he? What can you tell us about them? I mean, obviously you've spoken to them and you know a little bit about their personal situation. What would it have meant to them if there was, for example, one here somewhere in Gloucester, maybe at the park or in one of the big businesses around here? What would it mean for that family? What would they be able to enjoy maybe in the city that they wouldn't be able to without a changing places toilet?
Well, in black and white, they'd be able to enjoy everything that you and I can enjoy. They can go to all the places that we can go to. Steve told me a bit about his daughter, Maisie. She's 7 years old, with spina bifida. And she needs help to go to the toilet and use these places. One place that he said that he'd love to go to would be Gloucester Quays. They don't have a changing place in Gloucester Quays. The alternative is to go to the disabled toilet and change Maisie on the floor, which is completely awful and undignified, especially in the 21st century. I mean, they've got the cinema there. They can go to the cinema. They can do some shopping. They have the markets. They've got all the new places to eat. It would just be great. It's a whole day out, and it's absolutely life changing, because otherwise they could just stay at home.
You've clearly been spreading the message today, haven't you? As I said here, Anna, Wendy has spoken to several people already and has been educating them about changing places in the campaign. If people do want to maybe find out a little bit more, and they are a place where possibly they have the space and the potential to become part of this campaign and offer that facility, very quickly, how can they get in touch with the campaign?
There's a few places they can go to. They can visit changing-places.org or the sponsors, which is us, aviso.co.uk, or they can email us on info@aviso, that's aveso.co.uk, or just have a look at Changing Places on Facebook and Twitter. Everyone's talking about it. It's great.
Thank you very much for your time, Wendy. So that website again, Anna, if anybody is interested. So not only if you want to use a place like that and you want to know where they are in the country, but if you're a business perhaps that wants to find out a bit more, it's changing-places.org.
Lovely. Thank you very much. I'd like to hope that there were grants available to sort of encourage businesses who are interested in order to get one of these toilet facilities. I'd like to hope that's the case. I don't know that's the case, but I'd love to find out if that is. If you can tell us more, then if you have had experience of changing places toilets elsewhere in the country and recognising the need here, maybe it's stopped you, like it did Meryl and her mum, from just going out for a cup of tea and a slice of cake. It is not much to ask, is it? So that you can do exactly what everybody else takes for granted and is able to do when you're a carer or you have need of a particularly large toilet. We have one in the county, at least. We've been giving you the chance to find out that one exists, but surely what we could do with is a lot more.